audio files and some of the very important kind of anecdotes that kind of reinforce JC's philosophy at work. But that kind of I call it a book, but I see it as being far more than that, would be a very important way to launch, as it were, JC's kind of thinking and educational philosophy into, the academic, call it academic environment, but the environment of educators, take it out of Villar or Switzerland or as a very elite kind of educational process into something that could be far more extensive, could operate in different countries, different social, economic environments.
This was the original idea of the Round Square Schools, following Kurt Hahn's mission. Yeah.
And there's still alumni who are very much, follow Kurt Hahn and some of the Round Square. I without being as knowledgeable as I would like to about Round Square, I'm not sure to what extent that they're active and vibrant and follow some underlying educational philosophy. I don't know that much about them as a group. Any thoughts on that one? I do see they get a lot more coverage in Eglon Live, so I know they're alive and well. But
yeah. Well, you see, go on.
I was just going to say, I think the premise, as I understand, behind the Round Square Conference was excellent, but I'm not sure if it is still as strong and good kind of vehicle for taking educational philosophy across the globe. I don't know. For an example.
I think that there's 2 points about it. One is I think that what JC did and his philosophies do need preserving. I think the best way of preserving them is with actually being used. So if we put it into a book, e-book, DVD, CD format, the next question is who would actually use it. So there's that side of the issue.
Well, Steve.
Yeah.
If I can jump in for a second, Steve, what being kind of at the forefront of a lot of this kind of following on this educational philosophy in the States, I mean, do you see a need or an interest in this kind of call it an e-book or what have you? Do you think there's enthusiasm for that, or is this something that has to really be pushed and promoted?
What I see is that there are numerous publications that analyze pieces of this in the Educational Leadership. It's a magazine. This month's issue, it's for supervisors and curriculum development. And this association's issue this month is how do we address the emotional needs of our students? And this is just commonplace stuff within the conversations that teachers make. But I see that some teachers say, "Look, I've been hired to deliver some academic materials, and that's the extent of it. I'm not a guidance counselor." Whereas other teachers, and I think, Will, you'd probably put yourself there, you primarily were an advisor and guidance counselor. You just happen to also have this title of athletic director or housemaster along with your portfolio.
Yeah, that's right.
And so this concept of a teacher as being someone who professes something and delivers something is a real misnomer. And it's, I'm trying to find the right word. Littke talks about advisors. That's all that they have, advisories. You don't meet for a class, you meet for an advisory. The students are bringing situations, they're asked to comment about something, and then they work together on a problem. But then perhaps individually the advisor meets with the student as well in a mentor relationship, and then they go and seek other mentors. So yes, there has to be some way to introduce, for some people, they have to hear stories. For other people, they have to see it in action in a school.
Yeah, but Steve, if we go back to I think the point Will was making earlier, which is, the John Corlette Society needs to have clearly some kind of a mission, mission statement or purpose, and then following that, we need to think in terms of what's the best way to support that statement or that mission, and if it is to spread the philosophy or the wisdom of JC's approach to education, then so be it. And I think you need to have some kind of documentation or something so that those people who did not attend or teach at Eglon understand what JC was fundamentally all about. Then we need to kind of focus on that. And what I see in the States currently now, and I'm sure you're more familiar with this than I am, Steve, but these the new schools, the charter schools and so forth that are offering some kind of alternative to the horrendous publicly funded schools that operate now, that I don't know that to what extent the people who are starting these charter schools have any kind of outside or deeper understanding of educational philosophy, other than we need to be able to teach these students how to read, write, and calculate.
Good point.
But I don't know if that's a legitimate end goal or part and parcel of what the John Corlette Society should be doing, or should it be primarily just to a certain extent where we see Eglon kind of falling off the rails or just deciding to go in some different directions, that there's some kind of moral guiding authority that says, wait a minute, this was kind of the core beliefs or the core fundamentals, and how is this proposed change consistent with those guiding principles?
These issues are really come to the heart. We have currently a JC Society statement which basically says we want to promulgate his 1973 speech.
Yeah. That's something I think most people can agree with. I hope it'll.
So the question becomes, how much more do we want to go? I love the idea of having a larger mission, but I don't want to get ahead of the crowd.
Right. Fair comment, and all I'm kind of putting out there or suggesting is that as we, and I wouldn't say recruit, but as new members join the John Corlette Society, they obviously have to have a sense as to what it is that they're supporting, and why they would want to be involved or get involved, and what's this going to lead to down the road or in the future. So the fact that we have a relatively small membership is probably a very positive thing at this stage. But I think we need to should be thinking further out, because these questions are certainly going to come up.
I think that what you're saying now is absolutely right.